The math, as I said, is our claim to our special moment in history, and it's dramatically different. Three very quick lessons related to that. The numbers are just incomprehensible. If you put a 0 over here, and you put a trillion over here, and then I give you a pencil and say, draw a line for a billion. Where are you going to put the line for a billion? The line for the billion has to go right next to the 0, because you have to have 1,000 lines of billions before you get to trillion. A billion is very close friends with a 0. It hasn't seen a trillion. I mean, a trillion is way down the road. If you counted 1 digit per second to a million, it'd take you 12 days. If you skip a billion and go to a trillion, 1 digit per second, 1, 2, 3, to a trillion, take you 32,000 years. So there's a difference between 12 days and 32,000 years. But have you noticed the word trillion out there? People are throwing that around all the time and really don't understand how big a number that is. The math is increasingly dysfunctional. Here's I got about 10 of these slides, and I'm only going to give you 2 of them. If you go to college, you can choose from over 500 baccalaureate degrees. There used to just be reading, writing, and arithmetic. And now there's all of these things. If you get a satellite dish or cable or whatever, you can choose from 1,100 movies a month. 40,000 different products in the average grocery store. My wife and I went to the grocery store and we counted 184 kinds of breakfast cereal. I'm not interested in that store or that aisle anymore. I want 4 kinds of breakfast cereal, and you can choose them. I don't care what they are, but I'm not going to waste my life looking at 184 different kinds. Starbucks, 55,000 configurations of coffee. The average American spends 10 hours exposed to media every single day, half of which is television, 34 hours per week, so that's just about 5 hours per day in terms of watching television. 400,000 books per year published in the United States and Great Britain. Everybody in this room could read 1,000 books this year, and nobody in this room read the same book. That didn't used to be. This is different. More video uploaded to YouTube in the last 60 days than all 3 networks created in 60 years. Google sent their scientists out to count up the number of URLs. URLs is that thing at the top of your web page. When you order up a web page or some kind of document on the internet, that URL is the Uniform Resource Locator is up at the top there. And they counted over 1 trillion of them. Twitter started, when Twitter started in 2007, I said, you gotta be kidding me. This is so inane, this is stupid, this little tiny thing, this one has no depth to it whatsoever. And now, what did I know? I mean, 350 million tweets per day and sponsoring revolutions. The average American has to learn how to operate 20,000 pieces of equipment in our lifetime, 3/4 of which is designed to infuriate. I have a physics degree, and I don't know how my toaster works, and I don't know how to set this watch, but technology will increase 1,000,000 times in this century. Change will increase 1,000 times in this century. You know what the definition of stress is? The way our body adapts to change. Change is going to increase 1,000 times. Knowledge workers check email 50 times a day, instant messaging 77 times a day, visit 40 websites a day. The average desk worker according to IBM starts something new every 3 minutes. You don't have to memorize any of these, okay? I mean, I want you to get exhausted by this list, okay? So, information overload costs business $650 billion a year, stress costs business $300 billion a year. There's 1 trillion right there. If I read 2 healthcare-related articles every day for a year, 2 articles about healthcare every day for a year, next year at this time I'd be 1,000 years behind in my reading. No doctor can possibly keep up. The PDR, Physician's Desk Reference, when it first started in 1948, it had 300 pages, now it has 3,300 pages. This comes from Switzerland. There are 35,000 publications a year in neuroscience, and no single researcher knows even 1% of them. Something is different, and the math has just exploded. And it's glorious, it's wonderful, but it's horrible, it's dangerous, and it's stressful. So we have both of those at the same time.